And you're back right here on Open Studio Channel 263 with myself, Brad, and today we're chatting all about connectivity, a very, very interesting topic that we are talking about right here on the show. We're still joined in studio by Mr. Nick Watson, as he's giving us all the ins and outs with regards to connectivity. Mr. Nick Watson, some of the noticeable trends that you are seeing when it comes to Wi-Fi, what would you say are some of those?
Some of the trends that are coming forward, well, what we're seeing increasingly is that people are now two things. One, the mobile operators are offloading onto Wi-Fi because they get higher performance, broader connectivity, and it also enables them to get to remote locations without the need to dig cables. And then at the other end of the scale, we're seeing a huge amount of devices connecting. As we mentioned earlier, this can be sensor technology, so it might be looking at the pollution levels in a particular city. We're seeing things like sensoring, where you might have a parking slot free and it will automatically send back to a Wi-Fi device. We're seeing customer analytic data, where people are wanting to shop, they want to know where the latest deal is, and in some of the large malls, the operators are providing this kind of location-based services. So it's applications being put on top of Wi-Fi, and increasingly for the cities, this is a lot of services can be provided to the citizens using that.
Okay, and also, Mr. Watson, what would you say is Wi-Fi's role promoting smart cities?
Yeah, so Wi-Fi with smart cities, I mean, firstly, nobody wants to have a dumb city, right? Everybody wants to have a smart city. But what is it? And it's a lot of different things. The basic building blocks, I think everybody starts with connectivity in public spaces. So this could be like the convention centre or environments like that where it's been done. But again, this is one of those moments of truth. Because if you're going to start off with that, it better be wickedly fast Wi-Fi. Otherwise, you don't have the good experience. So I think we can learn from some of the countries around the world, some of the cities that have been doing this for a while. And if you take the city of San Jose in California, we like that one because it's one of the ones that really pushed the boundaries. So they've connected traffic meters, they've connected environmental monitoring, they've connected CCTV, and you have a seamless connection. Because the other thing that people want from Wi-Fi is they don't want to have to log on each time. They want to be able to log on once, and then as they move across a city, they want it to hand off between the different devices. So that ability to use it and the satisfaction, the experience that people get, that's a big deal. So cities are starting at the building blocks, and that's essential. They have to have the connectivity underlying that with the broadband connectivity. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how fast the Wi-Fi is. If you can't connect out to the internet, that doesn't work. But then it's layering on services, layering on things which typically the citizens may not want to go somewhere to get. We can connect them, they can use it on their smartphones, and increasingly the big change that we've seen in the last 5 years is to go from a PC being the device you connected to everybody now. It's a tablet, it's a smartphone, it's just what size screen do you want. But that's what they want. The immediacy of connectivity and then the seamless handoff, so you don't drop the connection, you don't have to re-authenticate.
Wow. Okay, and also, Mr. Watson, there are a number of cities that's providing free Wi-Fi across the whole of South Africa, right? Would you say this is where we're headed now?
I'm sorry?
Would you say this is where we are heading?
It's very hard because this is a vast country. South Africa is huge, and there's a lot of connections still to be made. And of course, there's big spaces between the major cities. So there are projects which Google, Facebook, Microsoft are all working on together to try and bring connectivity to the areas that are very hard to reach. And we're right in the middle of those, driving those activities, and that is making a big, big difference. So I think firstly the policymakers understand it, the politicians understand why we need it, and there's a direct correlation that's been made in studies between the connectivity of people and in a particular country or a particular city and the gross domestic product that rises from that. It's an immediate thing. You have connectivity, you're able to connect and use the tools, the compute, the kind of computer type tools, the smartphones. And then it's a question of, now how do we educate everybody? Because not everybody knows how to use those devices. So it's a combination of education as well as connectivity. Connectivity on its own isn't enough. It's the ability to be able to connect with the people, educate, and it drives a huge change in the growth in a particular area.
Yeah, and also what needs to happen, Mr. Watson, for it to become a reality across the country?
Across the whole country, well, firstly, it's the connection between the cities, because obviously what we'd like to be able to do is to drive across the country with seamless connectivity. You know, you might have family members in the vehicle, you know, so the driver didn't ought to be doing this, but the family members in the vehicle might want to be entertaining themselves as they go across. So we're starting out with connectivity in the cities. That then needs to be connected somehow. Satellite, connection in cable, and then the Wi-Fi and the mobile connections added on top of that. We're not far away though, and this is more a case of funding obviously is required, and public-private partnerships will really help to build that along. And then it's the connection between manufacturers like ourselves to assist with the people who are the service providers. And that's working pretty well. So it's the underlying technology is quite complicated, but the people using it don't need to see that. In fact, the beauty of it is when you're using it, but you really don't know that it's complicated. And it's the performance that makes all the difference. So today, across South Africa, you have one access point, so one hotspot per 6,100 people.
Wow.
That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So it's a huge build-out. We estimate that you're going to need about 5 million hotspots across Africa to actually connect with the various different people that are there. So this is a big build-out, and we've only just begun.
Wow.
So cities like Cape Town, like Johannesburg, but where we are here in Cape Town, it's clear that people understand what needs to be done. They're starting out with the right approach, and very soon you'll have connectivity here in open spaces. I think the plan is for 100 access points, hotspots to be out there during this particular calendar year, so not long to go, and then build on that and add to it.
I don't want to put you on the spot, Mr. Watson, but from an expert's point of view, do you think that Cape Town is working towards becoming a smart city?
Yeah, I think there are signs that definitely Johannesburg is, and as I say, the building blocks to begin with, but then it's what are the services that the citizens want? What are the things that you don't want to have to go to a government office to get? You know, what are the things that can make people's life easier? And there are certain steps that can be taken. So some of this is connectivity. Obviously, without the connectivity, you can't do much. But the other part is which applications, which services really make a difference to the individual. And if we can get that right, that's a very powerful combination.
Fantastic. Wow, guys, let's go for another quick ad break to not get anywhere with more connectivity right here on Open Studio. We'll see you back now.